Even though it's got a liquid-cooled engine now, as opposed to the previous generation air-cooled, it's still a monster. Like, it's got that signature monster feel to it. It's kind of low and long. Your feet are kind of tucked up, kind of high, sport bike style, and it's got a humongous handlebar, really wide, really upright. So it's kind of a funky riding position.
You know, basically it makes you lean over, it makes you get into the corners, but you get into the, you know, the street riding and the open road, and it was, you know, you're leaning over a little bit too much with the Ducati. I felt like it was more like a racer style, whereas, you know, the KTM is more upright, you know, it felt better on the highway.
But man, that motor in that Ducati, like that thing just rips. Like it's a huge step forward over the old air-cooled motor. Overall, I actually liked the Ducati's engine over the KTM's, even though it was some 20 horsepower less. I still like the Ducati's engine better just because it was a little quicker to rev and just had that better feel to it. Like I just felt more connected with the engine than I did on the KTM.
I mean, it really had a good power delivery. It wasn't slow whatsoever. It was really fast. I mean, you crack the throttle and that thing would get up and go like nobody's business.
The sound of the engine's pretty good, but the mufflers are a little bit tinny sounding. Not really when you're riding it, but if like you're standing on the side of the road and you hear the thing ride by you, it's kind of tinny sounding.
The Ducati, I felt most comfortable with that bike in the canyons. You know, it cornered really well. The suspension was moved around a little bit more than I'd like it to, but I feel with a little bit more adjustment, it could, you know, tighten up and give it a little bit more dampening.
Off the showroom floor, the suspension settings they have are not very good at all. But once you kind of tune the clickers to where you like it and slow the whole bike down, it's a lot better. But I wish that Öhlins stuff had a little bit more dampening. It's just, even when you kind of dial in the dampening and slow it down, it's still too fast. But on the other hand, that the fork actually has a lot of road feel. Like we were like riding around in the canyons and even on the track, like the fork delivers a lot of feel. But that feel comes at the price of just the bike moving around a lot, feeling a little bit loose. I've never been a big fan of their traction control, but the evolution of the software, it's getting better. Like the traction control works pretty good. I really like the way it felt when I was riding at the track. You know, I left it in level 2, and for the amount of grip that stock tires have, like level 2 is perfect. Like it allowed me to ride the bike like hard and not have to worry about the rear tire coming around or spooling up or anything. I really liked it. The ABS on that Ducati Monster really works. Like in level 1, in the least restrictive setting, it can brake harder and stop in a shorter distance than I could do manually with the ABS off. And that's really impressive. It shows that they're really figuring out the calibration of the motorcycle. Another gripe I have about the Monster is just the display. Like they spend all this money trying to make a really nice, you know, TFT color display, but you can't see the thing. Like in direct sunlight, you literally can't even see anything on it. It's totally black. Like I don't know how that passed out of the testing department, but I much prefer having an analog gauge because at least you can read it. But overall, that Ducati Monster, it really impressed me. Like I love the engine on it, excellent brakes, and just a really good motorcycle overall.